like growing up in Pritchard, I know Bird is from Pritchard as well. Like I grew up, Bird, you may be familiar. I grew up on Montgomery Street in a garage apartment behind my grandmother's house. So the house I'm living in now, we didn't see houses like that. And I just didn't think that I would ever be in a position to ever afford a house like I success to me was like a nice 2-bedroom apartment or whatever.
What up? It's Three Brothers No Sense. I am Tavares Ferguson, a.k.a. Ferg, joined with my co-hosts, Buff and Rozzy. But before we get started, we have a very special guest, one of our fellow classmates from John L. LaFleur, class of 99. We call her Bird. You might know her as Lashoundra Holmes. Please take it away, Bird. Introduce yourself to the peoples.
Hey guys, hey there, podcast land. So I am Lashoundra Holmes Young, aka Bird. And
my bad, I forgot the Holmes.
You got the young.
That's Holmes. It's okay. So now 20 some years after high school, I am now a fashion influencer. I work with different brands. Basically, they give me their stuff. I put it on my blog and they pay me to do so. I've worked with Neutrogena. I worked with DSW, Express, Saks Fifth Avenue, just to name a few. And of course, I was on the cover of Redbook magazine in 2016. That was exciting.
Yes. That was dope.
And
that was dope.
Do y'all remember that?
Of course.
Yeah,
I remember that.
And of course, more things are happening and I'm just excited. So it is I.
So basically, we got a celebrity on the show.
Yeah.
Celebrity.
Yes, you absolutely are.
So, fellas, tell us what's going on with you. What's on your mind, fellas?
I mean, I'm just admiring her shirt right now. Bird has on a shirt of herself, and she's like posing. And I want to say, does she kind of look like Megan Good? Who does she remind you of on that shirt, man?
Yeah. That's definitely a Megan Goodish type of vibe it's giving me.
But she has the short hair.
I've never heard Megan Good. I like Megan Good though, but let me tell you the backstory of this shirt. I was getting ready to go to New York Fashion Week, and I wanted this dope shirt. Yeah, mm-hmm. So
I'm gonna keep a flex.
So I wanted this. Did you get that? Okay, Flex. Yeah, I was getting ready for New York Fashion Week, right? Second time. And so I wanted this dope shirt of like this fashion icon. So I was getting ready to purchase one. And I said, thought to myself, I would not spend $20 to have another person on my body. So I took a picture, my favorite picture at that time, and I emailed it to a local vinyl company, and I said, "Hey, y'all iron this on my shirt." And voila.
Nice.
Well, I don't know if y'all catch the subtle flexes in there, but the flex count is up to 3. Just in case everybody doesn't know, the flex count.
She did have a couple humble brags.
Fashion icon. Why not myself?
I like it, though. I like it.
All right. So with you, bro?
For me, man, I just want to shout out to The Last Kingdom. So I was having a little bit of an epiphany of everybody's been in the house for 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, and I don't think I've seen anybody say that they're rewatching Game of Thrones. One of the best series up until the final season in history. Nobody wants to rewatch it because of that. And then, so I was kind of having that epiphany, and I thought about, hey, what else is good out there? So I found this show on Netflix called The Last Kingdom. It's about Vikings and England and all that stuff. So it gives me that kind of Game of Thrones vibe without the dragons. It's more realistic, but man, it's good. I binged the first season the night I watched it. It was on a weekday, and I stayed up to 3 o'clock binging that first season just to see what was happening. So if you want to, go check it out. It's a really good series.
Well, I'm going to keep the party going, and I'm going to start talking about Bird because for all you guys that don't know, like, I like fashion. I'm not as bold as Young Bird here, but I love fashion. So I got to start talking about fashion. So you got to let us know, I know we're on lockdown and stuff like that, and everybody's trying to get their post-corona body vibes going and stuff like that. That's why we got the challenge we do every week with our health group. Mm-hmm. What's going on? What's hot this summer? What's the new look? What I need to get ready for? Or is the plaid coming back in? Stripes? You know what I'm saying? I almost thought I was gonna wear the romper and stuff like a few summers ago. Like I need to know what's going. Yes, I would. No. I would. No, so what was going to happen was my old company, we had a president's club. It was supposed to be it was a Greek cruise, a 5-day Greek cruise. And I'm like, if I make this cruise, I'm rocking a romper. Like I'm walking on the boat with a romper. Like that was my thing.
The rompers, man. Ain't nothing wrong with the romper.
I can't wait till Sherman hit his episode.
I don't give a damn what Sherman.
I can't wait. I just can't wait.
Hey man, I'm telling you, and I would have had a photo shoot too. Trust me, if a 5-day Greek island cruise, all expense paid. I was walking, and I was telling my coworkers, I'm walking on the boat with my romper on, and I'm letting you know. I might have got mine custom made just for me, but that's not where we're going. That's why I was saying that was a. So what's in this summer?
I like the confidence, by the way. So basically, somebody mentioned plaid and stripes. Plaids and stripes will always be in. So remember that. I'm all into classics. I'm all into classic pieces. I'm not into a lot of trendy pieces. Sure. So anything. To me, and honestly, I don't really keep up with the trends. I get confused on the trends sometimes. I think the trends can be ugly sometimes, but that's just my personal style. So, but one thing that would never go out of style, like for any season, or like your classic button downs, your classic t-shirts, your V-neck tops. Man, get you some V-neck t-shirts. V-neck t-shirts will look good on any man. I don't care your body type. I don't care your size. Go to Walmart or order online and get you some V-neck t-shirts. And men, stop wearing big clothes. Big clothing is not in. Get some clothing that is tapered to your body, that kind of just lay on your body. You don't want all that extra material just out there. Just get
your body type.
Yes, know your body type. But I'm going to tell you this, man. Some of you guys think wearing fitted clothing is not in. But no, we want to see your bodies, okay? So wear those T-shirts so we can see those arms. Wear those T-shirts so we can see those shoulders. Wear those T-shirts so we can see your chest. So if you have to ask me what it's in this summer, those V-neck T-shirts, those crew neck T-shirts, and those shirts that are fitted to your body.
So, and the women like eye candy too, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yes, and we don't want to see no baggy clothes on you. This ain't 1990.
I've been trying to tell people for years, man. You got to do form fitting, and when I started making enough to buy stuff that fit my body, oh yeah, that's what I'm all about.
Yeah,
very good.
But,
yes,
but no. So that's for the men. I need to know. What's in for the women? Is sundress season coming back? Because that's what really.
Are we gonna miss it? I'm scared we're gonna miss it.
First of all, you know what? I hope y'all do miss it. Y'all do miss sundress season.
Man,
I'm so sick of y'all.
Sundress season is like a classic.
And here's the thing with sundress season. It doesn't matter the print with you guys. It can be the ugliest sundress. As long as y'all see whatever it is that y'all want to see, y'all are giving it a hand clap. No.
I'm shallow. I judge. I'm judgy.
I ain't gonna lie.
I'm judgy. I am judgy. So I need to see. But I respect the nice sundress that flows. I'm like, okay. But I just want to make sure that what are the dates of sundress season? Because I don't want COVID-19 to help pass this by. I don't want to miss out. I want to make sure.
Day to Labor Day or something like that.
Well, here's the thing. Depending on which side of the country that you're on, the sundress season may start a little earlier in the South and maybe a little later in the North. So when you start getting those consistent temperatures of 80 and above, then ladies, you can wear your sundresses. But ladies, if you must wear your sundresses, make sure they are to your feet and make sure you have on the proper undergarments. And that includes bras, and that includes girdles if you have to. My grandmother.
We ain't asked all that, Bird. I'm sorry.
But
So they supposed to wear underwear? See, I thought it was part of no underwear with the sundress season. Like that.
Exactly. No.
Don't those are synonymous.
I mean,
no. That is no. That is per the male requirements. No, ladies, please put on you some underwear, honey.
Unless you want to get chose.
Everything that
ladies,
jiggles,
if you want to get chose.
Unless you want to get. Matter of fact, I just saw on Facebook, this lady literally made a post and said, I shouldn't have worn this sundress to Lowe's because all the men were attacking her. You knew better.
It's sundress season, man.
Especially during COVID, you got to think about it. Yeah, they ain't out like seeing folks on a regular basis. So, you know, back when we get deployed, we used to call them desert queens. So, you know, where like they're girls that just kind of they're okay in the States, but then when you get deployed. They bump up a little bit.
The little Italian chick. You remember the Italian chick? No.
The fat chick.
Let me tell y'all something, man. Oh, God.
No, Roger.
I didn't call her nothing. That was you. She did. Offering her a Twinkie.
So,
man, we do not want to be treated as pets. Mm-hmm.
No, we got deployed to Afghanistan. We were on pretty much 99.9% all male posts. And so I think we had one lady with us, and were there one or two other ladies on the whole post?
Yeah, I think there was like 3 total. Two at the FARP, and then one actually on the base with us. Yeah.
Yes. And so there was one who was actually, I guess we call her the Desert Queen. She was fairly attractive, but she ended up leaving. And so there was one chick who was pleasantly plump. We'll call her that. And so Rising, now this is 22-year-old Rising. He was very uncouth. And so he used to whisper to her, like, hey, bad bitch. That was Rising. Yeah. He would try to get her attention. Yeah.
Ferg was the one that's like, hey, fat I got a Twinkie, fat.
No.
That was Rising. All Rising.
Man, I hope the ladies are judging y'all right now.
Thank God.
That was 22-year-old Rising.
That was almost 20 years ago. So
thank God for maturity. Jesus, please don't do that now because you would get slapped.
No, it was just, he wouldn't say it loud enough. It was just his ongoing joke.
That's all it was.
Gotcha.
So,
trying to get attention.
I want to go back to the humble brag of fashion influencer. So how do you become an influencer? Because I think a couple of us, like me, you guys know, I was trying to run like Jenica Kimberly and that social media. Byron is running ours and he's blowing that up. And so we appreciate that, Buff. But at the same time, how do you like get that influencer status and like grow that social media following?
So, okay, so basically how you become this like a fashion influencer or any type of influencer is when you can generate revenue. So basically, if you can post something on your social media and that allows your followers to then click on another link to purchase something, you are now an influencer. Because now you have the ability to influence other people to spend money. So basically people or brands pay me, and not just pay me, it can be like, you know, I can give them a service in exchange for a shoe or a pair of shoes or something. So basically, if I can run my followers, even if it's just 10 clicks to a link, that is, traffic to their site and possible more revenue for them. So that's how you become an influencer. Basically, if you can put something on your post and generate traffic and generate revenue.
How did you get there though? That's big. I mean, I can post something. I can post the keys. I can post a solution to life, secret of life, and people might not click on my post right now.
I feel like I've watched the journey too.
Yeah.
You have. Let me tell you why. Because we are naturally attracted to clean lines and here's another flex. and pretty things.
Damn.
I was wondering how you were going to answer.
Got it.
You got that word? All right.
Got it.
So you look good. And I wanted to see how you were going to heard it.
So basically, if your pictures look good, and unfortunately, people don't do well. People don't do well with just words. We want to see something that looks good. And if it looks good, guess what your followers are going to do? If she looks like that, or if he looks like that, I'm going to look like that too. And now you have created this image in their head, and again, creating more traffic and creating more revenue. So what I did was I started taking better pictures. I hired a photographer. I did my own research in magazines, online. I even reached out to, different bloggers at that time. And it was like, hey, like, what are you doing? Like, what's the secret? But even when they would give me their own advice, I would say that isn't working for me. So I just found my own niche, which was show them who is Bird, this goofy person sometimes who is from Alabama, who has this very, very twangish. I'm twangish.
It's definitely a Southern twang.
Oh, yeah.
Country. Yeah, country. Yes. And so, yes. So that in itself draws people. Oh, my God, I love how you speak or what have you. And I didn't know you were that short. So basically, I just started taking pretty pictures. I hired a photographer. I did my own research, and honestly, I just put myself out there. There were like a lot of contests like posts out there, and I just submitted my pictures and I told them who I was, and they featured me on their page. And some of these pages had like 200,000 followers. One page featured me, had like over 1 million followers. So I just kind of grew from there. And of course, I am a fashion influencer. So people like what I have on. And so it starts the conversation. Where did you get that shirt? Where did you get those pair of jeans? Where did you get those pair of shoes? Hey, click the link in my bio. So I just consistently started, doing that, and bada boom, bada bam. I started with 3,000 followers when I got on, maybe 500 followers when I got on Instagram. Now I'm up to over 60,000. Add that flex in there for me, please. Thank you.
We'll do.
And
we're hoping for that free share. Three Brothers No Sense. When this episode drops, just throw that out there.
That definitely. That'll get you extra flex points.
Right. That's funny. And so yeah, I just found, and it goes for you guys and whomever else is listening, find out what the people like. People like what I wear, and people like my hair. What I like, of course, how I dress, my hair, and my lipstick. What lipstick are you wearing? Who did your hair? And what are you wearing? So I realized this is what my followers like. So, hey, let me just kind of monetize that a little bit. And that's what I did. Hence the online boutique, Shop Inside Out. We're going on 4 years. And that's how we started monetizing. At that time, I had 20,000 followers. And even then, I asked myself, how can I monetize 20,000 followers? And I started doing more research, and I signed up for like this wholesale out in LA, and I was beginning to do some things. And then my best friend came to me one day and say, hey, Bird, how do you feel about having an online clothing store? Yes, ma'am, let's do this. and so at that time, some company was actually offering, not company, but like an organization was offering like a grant, and the grant consisted of them giving us X amount of money. And actually, we had to put up X amount of money, and then they actually matched it. So it was like double the money. But before they matched what we put in, we had to take different courses. We had to do a business plan. We had to meet with a coach, and that literally took about 1.5 years. And that was 4 years ago. So from point A to where we are now, we have seen major growth. We have shipped literally all over the world, met some incredible people, and while we're doing it, making money.
Hey, I like
so
money.
That's where we are. I know we are making money. I know, praise God.
The thing about that is, so many people think overnight success happens overnight. And just listening to your story and how it took a year and a half from idea of an online boutique to it actually launching. That's a year and a half of grinding before it even launches. So many people want to be like, oh, I want to spend $100 and get $800 back, and I'm gonna flip this $100. Y'all got to put in the work. If you're really trying to grow a business, grow a brand, grow anything, you got to put in that work, and you got to grind slow. And then it's that one thing that pops it and be like, okay, boom, now you're big. And like I say, it's the overnight success doesn't happen overnight. It's that overnight part is the one big thing that happened to like blow you up. So
right, exactly.
Kudos, man. Kudos.
Thank you, honey. And even now, we are still growing. We are still learning, and keep in mind, we both still work full-time jobs. So it is literally around the clock. Because mostly when the world is sleeping, I'm up answering customer service. I'm up answering customers' emails. So it's a lot, but I love it, and I wouldn't change anything about it.
So if you had anything to tell our listeners who are looking to start their own business, because the majority of our listeners are women, maybe they have a passion similar to yours or something along that line. If you had to tell them one thing, what would that be?
This sounds so cliche, but God knows it is the truth. We have, especially women, we have all these ideas in our head, and we have our friends telling us, girl, just know that, yes, that's a good idea. But guess what? The step one is just to start. You have to literally start. And starting means putting yourself out there. I've been doing this 5 years as far as blogging. And every single time I have to go live, every single time I post a picture, I am nervous. So I can imagine, I can imagine how, possibly other women feel, about starting. You have to start. You have to start. You have to be scared. It is okay to be scared. You are going to be fearful. You are going to mess up. You are going, everybody isn't going to like you. I still have a problem with that, but they didn't like it. Why they didn't like it? But guess what? That's just life. They ain't like Jesus. But no, they didn't.
She just compared herself to Jesus.
I think so. That is definitely a flex.
Me, Jesus, all the greats. Me, Jesus, they ain't draft Brady into the seventh round.
God, listen. John the Baptist,
Pop Big, LeBron, MJ, that group.
Yes. Whitney Houston, what? Seriously, I would just tell them, like, ladies, just start. Be scared as hell doing it. But guess what? You may be scared, but you have a whole lot of people supporting you.
I appreciate that. I did not think that would be your advice, but now that I think about it, that is probably.
Really? Oh, sorry.
No, not in a bad way. It's. My one of my old managers told me, like, Tavares, sometimes you have analysis paralysis. You can think everything out, but you won't start. And so I really take that to heart, because we started, my wife and I a friend of mine started a business a few months ago. But it was the fact we had to start. We had to go out and invest the money and stuff like that.
Right.
So. But I've been talking about it for months. So we officially started investing in, like, my wife, she's an entrepreneur herself, and I give her credit because she is not scared to start over, start something new. Like, so that's cool. Like, that's really good advice. So, fellas, anything else you guys have?
Let's do it.
All righty. Well, we're going to take a quick break. We're about to pay some bills since we don't have any sponsors like Young Bird here. So we got to take a break real quick.
The shade.
Love, exciting and new. Hello, Hannah Waddingham here. Have you seen the fabulous new Sun Princess? World-class entertainment, exceptional dining, and the greatest pizza ever. It's alive.
Don't miss our Come Aboard sale with up to 40% off and free room upgrades. Visit princess.com or call your travel advisor to book. Princess Cruises. Terms and restrictions apply. Offer ends 2/28/25. Ships of Bermudan and British Registry.
So we're back. Three Brothers No Sense. For all you guys that might have forgot that quick, we have a special guest, Bird, on with us today. So before we bring in our questions, we got to roll out the red carpet, our one mic stand, and give young Razi, a budding comedian, a chance to entertain us. Take it away, Razi.
All right.
I got faith in you today.
I think y'all gonna like this one. I'm pretty sure.
Since then.
Oh,
He always leaves with that.
All right. So this week, I just wanted to ask you guys, how do you weigh a millennial in Instagrams?
You know what?
I knew it was
That's
going to
not
be one.
that bad. That's not that bad.
I was going to say 1 gram at a time. I knew it was going to be something. I knew.
Bird, what you think?
On a graph? on a graph?
I said in Instagrams.
Instagrams.
Metrics, insights.
No, that was the punchline.
That's how bad the joke was. The answer is Instagram. That's how bad.
Oh God!
Thank you. See?
Oh Jesus!
Real time reaction.
Right.
That was good though.
It wasn't that. It was
So nice.
It was okay.
So nice. So nice.
That was good though.
Thank you.
Proud of
Thank
you
you.
for even having the courage to ask to see it.
Bless his heart.
Bless his heart. The ultimate shade. Bless his heart.
Just let him use you. Just let him use you. Razi, that wasn't that bad. That wasn't. Well, now that that's over, Bird, joining us.
Mm-hmm.
You have a question for the brothers today, so take it away.
I do. You guys, I truly admire you guys' relationship, you guys' friendship. You guys have been friends since 200 BC, right? So I just want to know, I want you guys to tell the people, or tell me or whomever, how is it that you guys are able to maintain such a genuine friendship? Because I see it, everybody see it. You can just feel the brotherly love through social media. Like, I love it. And, I just wish more men, especially women, can see how, anything that long term, you will always have conflict, you will always have problems, but at the end of the day, loyalty matters and friendship matters and family matters. So how are you guys able, with the three brothers having no sense at all, able to keep you guys' friendship going?
That's a good question.
It is.
I never thought about that.
But I really want to know. I think the people want to know. This is an exclusive because Tavares has his hand over his face. Orazio, I can't see Orazio. Byron's crying. Let me click on
Byron.
him real quick.
He is crying.
Byron's crying.
Ain't that something?
See everybody.
Yeah.
Right, Roger, you want to take that one first, man?
I think there was a period where we kind of drifted apart, and we talked about it a little bit. Like, even me and Ferg, we talk about how we've been best friends since high school, but there were 3, 4, 5, even 6 months where we may not have talked to each other. But when we got back together, it instantly felt like we had been talking last week, no matter what. Right.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But with the larger SWAT group, if that's kind of what we're alluding to, not just the three brothers, but the larger SWAT group, I look at it trial by fire, and we went through a lot together in high school. And so we gelled really, really tough together with losing friends and everything, and having to lean on each other for that. And it's one of those things that, when Sherman got locked up, we all were there and being there for each other and talking to each other, those types of things. So it's just, as time went by, we never let either one of us fall. And so I feel like we became family because of that. And so, how you might not talk to your family every day or all the time, but they always feel like family. So over that time, it would be like me and Byron might not talk for 3-4 months, but then all of a sudden, boom, we're like, hey, we're planning a trip to go see Sherman. So Byron, you fly down, come up for Classic or whatever. And then we're going to drive to Kansas together to go see Sherman. Like little stuff like that, where it didn't matter how much time passed when we did talk and when we did come back together, it was just like we had never, that time didn't pass. So I think that's what it is. Right. Like we didn't feel like because time had passed and that because we didn't talk to them, they were no longer our friend. And I think that's what happens a lot of times. People feel like, oh, I haven't talked to them in 6 months. We're not friends anymore. And so they just roll on with their life. And so now it's awkward when y'all come back together and talk instead of it just being the same as if I talked to you last week. And that's how it's always been with us.
Bird, that was a good question. I don't think we've ever been asked anything like that before. But in addition to what Rozzy said, I just think we always kind of went beyond friendship. So like it wasn't just we hang out at school and then go our separate ways. Like we would meet each other's families, go over each other's house sometimes. I know Rozzy's mom has cooked dinner for us numerous times. You know what I mean? And I know he said we kind of like fell off at one point, but we still relatively stayed in touch. And I feel like we used every communication device that came out. So like, you know, at one time we had like an email chain going on. And now today, like we're all in this group me app thing where we talk every day. But just that and just hanging out, like we created so many memories in high school with parties we would throw and just hanging out, visiting one another. Like once we spread out beyond Mobile, we just created memories that make you want to check up on that person, care about that person, and see them succeed. And luckily, we're not anyone that wants to see, like we're not jealous when the other one succeeds. Like me and Rozzy at one time, we used to have a competition. Like, hey, dog, I just got a raise. How much you making? Rozzy like, dang, I'm going to catch you. Don't worry about it. You know, things like that. Me and Wendell would brag about how much you got in our savings. Like, how much you got in your savings this month? Oh, damn, man, I had to take something out to get this car fixed, but I'm going to catch your next paycheck. So, like, we just genuinely be happy for one another, man. And that's what started it, really.
Yeah, man, the fellas hit on it. You know, the beginning, I think the foundation and when we were younger was really big. Even our parents saw that it was something special. You know, I remember one time we had got in trouble for something. We were in Mr. Marshall's office and he was kind of like, hey, just drop the name and stuff like that. And it was Rozzy's dad. He's like, look, these guys, he almost said like these guys have something special. You can drop the name, it's not going to change. Their family, they're always going to be. And he saw it, like it was very unique. And I think what it was even though we drifted apart on some levels, it was like 1 or 2 degrees of separation. I might not talk to Byron there was a point I might have talked to Byron for like 2-3 years, but because I talked to Wendell so much, Wendell would give me the heads up on Byron. Like, man, you called the Buffalo. I mean, I gotta call him. Like we always felt like we felt like we were missing out when we weren't talking to somebody else, because I might not, like I said, talk to Byron, but I was like, man, you know what? I do need to call Byron. And then I almost feel guilty because I haven't called Byron in so long, just because whatever. And, you know, but I think another thing is I would say we had a nucleus, you know, one person I'll give a lot of props to that kind of really molded me and taught me about friendship is Sherman. I give him that. Yep. And I think seeing Sherman go through his trials and tribulations and being locked up, a lot of times it was almost like, man, I haven't called Byron in 2 years. Man, Sherman would be pissed off if I ain't talked to this dude in 2 years. Yep. Sherman would call each one of us every, and it's kind of like you have opportunities to do things and you're not taking advantage of it. And we truly, we were never too far. Like there's no way I could lose Byron's number because there was always somebody I could instantly talk to that had Byron's number. Right. There's no way I could lose talking to certain people because we were so close, and then when we came home, like Rozzy said, if we all happen to be home, oh yeah, I can't be in Mobile the same weekend as Byron, no matter if I've been talking to him in 2-3 years and he's in town, that we're not getting up. Like we have to, and our families were doing that stuff. And so it got to the point where we truly look at each other as brothers. And I think for me, being in a fraternity and seeing, you know, that friendship side and realizing that the friends I have is a rarity. Most people don't have this. You know, I have some frat brothers and line brothers that are on the other side. For me, like some of my best friends, and I have people from home that are still my best friends. And it's like, man, I know people that can't put two friends together. Like man, you know, I've been in weddings where people were trying to find groomsmen and stuff like that. And I'm like, when I was thinking about getting married and having my wedding, I'm like, man, I got too many people to choose. Luckily, I didn't have to, you know, we didn't have that wedding, but it was like, man, it was just. And then I think over the last, call it 5-6 years, as we became adults and we started really, and I think I would say the last 5 or 6 years is when it really kicked back off. Maybe even longer than that now. It's as we got older and started having kids and getting married and dealing with the challenges of life, we were able to deal with those together. Rising could give me advice. Byron could give me advice. Tabitha can give me advice. I remember the weekend I proposed to my wife, I was staying with Byron and Tabitha in D.C. This is the first time they had met Z, but we're having a full-fledged conversation, and there were some things that were said during that I still take with me to this day. You know, and I probably hadn't seen Tabitha or sat down and talked to Tabitha because it's just not the guy, Tabitha, in years. And so to have that conversation, it still holds true to me and plays a big part in our marriage. Like we really started gelling together and growing up and being adults together too. So.
And being intentional about getting back together, like that 5-6 years Fergus talking about, I look at the cabins as that point where, okay, we really became super close again, and we made a conscious decision not to let it fall back off. And so to the listeners, they may not know, but everybody kind of, Byron's in DC, Ferg's out in Houston, and we decided we were going to go to Tennessee and just get a cabin. So we got a huge cabin in Tennessee. I think it was like 20, 25 of us. Freddie came, a bunch of the folks. Mike was there from Atlanta, you know, folks from Mobile. So it was just all of us coming back together and just having a good time over the weekend, letting the kids meet basically their cousins, you know, when you really kind of think through it. And so, cause that's how we look at it. Like all of us are uncles and aunts, right? It's Aunt Tab, Uncle Byron. And so letting these kids meet each other. And so that was just awesome. So and when we did that, we just kind of kept going and kept rolling and kept like just expanding it. And I remember Ferg talked about Cooley. Sherman, when he got locked up, he was like, the only thing I ask y'all is still be y'all when I get out. And like that's that underlying fact when, like, just like Ferg said, when you'll be like, Sherman would be pissed if I hadn't checked on Byron. He'd be pissed if I didn't know what was going on with Wendell. And so just having him there, kind of making sure that we were good. And, you know, that was a proud moment when he got out and he said, man, I asked y'all to still be y'all when y'all got out, and y'all are. And I was like, yeah, we are. So yeah, he definitely is that nucleus.
Bird, I think we're up to 7 flexes for you.
8.
And
we're on 8.
We're on eight flexes for her now. And you mentioned how you pretty much are an influencer now. So a lot of friends can't take that. Have you lost anybody that you were close to that got jealous of your success at all? Or did everybody stay the same?
Everybody stayed the same. I have some pretty amazing, level-headed, very mature friends in my corner. Oh my God. Y'all don't have a clue. Like, they are the ones saying, no, do it, Bird. What are you afraid of? Everything. No, don't be afraid, Bird. Just do it. So no, my family supports me, and my friends are super amazing. Like Orazio or one of you guys stated, you know, friends turn into family. They aren't friends anymore. They are family. Auntie Bird, you know, Auntie Deirdre, Auntie Dawn, you know, Auntie Erica, whatever. Shout out to my homegirls and whatever.
There you go. Yeah, drop them names.
All my friends are amazing. I cannot think of anybody that I care about, you know, that I lost. If they aren't there, then they weren't meant to be there.
That's true. That's true, and that's good. I mean, because you have to have positive. When you're doing positive things, you need positive people in your corner.
Right.
And that's the thing. Agree. I can honestly say I feel like my friends really want to see me succeed, and we want to see each other succeed. We push each other, on so many different levels, and so we keep pushing. So I know you're going to do well just because you're you, but also the fact that you have the right people in your corner. So that's always good, So anything else, fellas, on that? Bird caught us off guard.
Yes, he did. That was.
I ain't even. That was crazy. And Sherman gonna get the big hit. Yeah, for sure. Sherman gonna get the big hit on this. Roz, we might have to get you to edit that out.
No. You guys were good. You guys were vulnerable.
Bleep his name out then, so he won't. We're talking about him.
All right, so since it's 4 of us, we're only going to do 2 questions, and Bird asked hers. Ferg, do you want me to ask one, or do you want to ask one?
I get to ask questions all the time, so I don't want to spoil the flow.
I actually had a different question, but just listening to our guest today and her journey, and just, to me, she just has so many accomplishments, and I literally feel like I've watched almost every step of her journey to where she is now. So I want to ask the 3 of you all, during this whole pandemic time, a lot of people are down. So I think this would be a good question for people to think about. Up until this point, we're all pretty much 39, almost 40 years old. So up until this point, what has been the greatest day of your life?
Raz, you might have to pause this one. We're going to have to get a thought on that.
Bird, let's see. I got noticed at New York Fashion Week. My wedding day, the magazine cover, when I had my kids. My bad. 60, when I reached 60K on Instagram.
I'm trying to think about when I had that feel good, that excitement.
You got your answer, Rosie?
I think so. It's going to be nuanced, though. I like to give multiple answers to an answer. It's not an answer question. It's kind of what I do. But, it's hard to pick one greatest moment, because you got to think your kids, right? The birth of your children is something special every time. So it's hard to put one above the other or anything like that. Same thing with marrying your spouse or, graduating, crossing, Omega, those are key milestones in your life that you're like, okay, I made it. Graduating high school, graduating college, getting a master's, those types of things. So all those different things culminate in what you are. But I'm thinking back to one of the most influential moments in my life. So it might not have been the highest, but just because I'm still kind of reeling from the loss of Jenica and everything like that, as soon as you asked it, I went back to the first Skype message that I got from Jenica. And while I was deployed, again, it was just kind of playing, but she Skyped me a picture, and I still have that picture to this day. And it was just kind of her laying down, and her hair was kind of over her eyes, so I got a little bit of her eye. The pillow was in there, so you can barely see her face and everything. But that picture is still seared in my memory, because that was the moment that it started it all. And from that Skype message, all the other Skype messaging, sending the little dance emojis back and forth. I told y'all the story about how I'd be excited to get the message because it'll be 3:00 in the morning here, but it's midday back in Iraq, right? So I'm in my office, I'm going away, and then I get that Skype message from her, and I'm like, boom, okay, I don't care what's going on, they can rocket us right now, I'm about to chat her back. So those types of things, and from there just going, growing, and that relationship growing. So I always think back to that particular time, and it's an innocuous picture. It's nothing that was super special. It wasn't a super sexy pic. It wasn't even a full body pic. Literally I could see her hair and her eyes, and for some reason it just like really made a big impression on me. So I'm gonna roll with that one as the highest point, because it started everything else.
I think that's a good answer.
I think that was good too. I love it. Mine is really short. I was in college. I was at the University of Mobile, and I was in nursing school. And if you're in nursing school at the University of Mobile, you have to maintain an 80 average, which is considered a C. But as far as I'm concerned, it was a B. Anyway, so right before finals, my professor told me I needed to make an 86 on my final exam to even have an 80. And so I went in, I took the final exam. It was like 100 questions. I was like, Jesus. And in nursing school, it's always like all the answers can be correct, but what is the best answer? So anyway, took the test. You had an option of waiting for your results, or you could leave and they would call you or whatever. I waited. So I remember going before my professor, and I was standing in front of her, and she looked down at her grade book. She looked at me, and I'm like, please, Lord. And she looked at me and she said, Lashoundra, you made an 86. And I just remember crying. I just remember praising God and just thanking Jesus. And although I didn't finish nursing school, but I remember how determined I was to get my all. I gave it my all. I studied, I did the best that, I thought I knew what, and that was 19 some years ago, like 20 years ago, what have you, when I was in college. That was my freshman and sophomore year in college. And although I did not continue nursing school, but even now, I still remember that moment of how determined I was. And even right now, if I put my mind to it, I always go back to that day when I was in college, in nursing school. I gave it my all. And even to this day, I give it my all. So I think that was one of my highlights.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's dope. I've been there. I've been there where like you got it. It's all or nothing. If I can't make this, it's all for naught. So that's dope. Of course, anybody knows me. Me and Risey are two peas in a pod, but we're completely different on everything as well. My story is very similar to Risey. It's anybody that knows me. I was like anti-marriage, all that stuff. It took me a lot to actually be in a quote unquote relationship. I wasn't big on titles. So for me, it would be the day that I met my wife, because it put so many things. It changed my trajectory for life, point blank. So, set this up. It was November 9th, 2008. It was actually my line anniversary, 7 years in the frat. So I'm hanging out with my line brothers and some the Florida State bros. It was a Florida State Clemson game. It was they were tailgating, and me being young, flirtatious Ferg at the point, I'm looking for the cutest chick there because I'm about to shoot my shot, because that's what I do. And this young chick caught my eye, and I thought she was, I've never met her. I thought she was out of town Delta. So about to shoot my shot to see how this goes. And so we were playing drinking games and talking and stuff like that. And so we ended up actually like later that night getting off to the side and talking. Then I found out she was going to Florida State and she was young and stuff like that. And everything in my Fergness told me that you should stop talking to her, because this is a waste of time, because it had nothing. There was no possible good end to this. She's young. She's here. Like it's a waste of time. But that conversation I had with her that night just sparked so many things. It was like I couldn't stop talking to her. It was something that kept making me go on and on and on and on. And then we exchanged numbers. And, I even like, hey, you have my number, make sure you use it. Like, we're not doing this for nothing. Like, we need to figure out what this is going to go. And from that moment, not even talking to her that long, when we first started dating, it was something about her that made me realize that every relationship and everything I dealt with or done to that point was all for naught or different, because I think she was the first person, and I couldn't put my finger on it. And it took me a while to realize she was the first person that helped me understand what it's like to be loved the way I deserve to be loved. And so since that day, my wife Sabrina has been my backbone. She's pushed me on so many things. And I was on my way to quit my job, and I was in somewhat of a funk and a depression. And I fast forward to, today, 2020, and the things I've been able to accomplish, or we've been able to accomplish, and she's helped push me to being in a great marriage and having 2 beautiful kids, and somebody who didn't think they want to have kids, and trying to be a great husband and a great father and stuff like that for somebody who didn't think they were going to have kids or get married, or live the life that I'm living financially, or any of this. I credit a lot of that to her, and I thought marriage was a shamble. It was a waste of time. And
it was overrated, as Byron said.
Overrated, as Byron said.
It most definitely is overrated.
But she taught me different. Like, to this day, I'm one of those people that you don't hear a lot of guys talk about marriage the way I do. Now, I try to be realistic with my wife, because we've been together so long. She has a way of getting under my skin like nobody's business. Rise has probably heard me talk about it more than anybody else, but I'm happy. I never thought you could be this happy in marriage, because I didn't see most marriages be like that. And most people push each other to be so successful and be so happy. And so, the day I met her was the day my life was changed and headed for greatness. So,
man, great answers from everybody. I guess for me, I decided out of, graduation was big for me, man. Like, that was a very, very, very happy day for me. Graduation, when I got married, just when those doors opened and Tabitha was like, get ready to come down the aisle, I swear, like, a big ass light just boom, like hit her. Like, she really did look, she always has looked beautiful, but like that day, it just was like, that's mine. So that was a good day. The house we're in now, man, I think I've mentioned this before. Like, growing up in Pritchard, I know Bird is from Pritchard as well. Like I grew up, Bird, you may be familiar. I grew up on Montgomery Street in a garage apartment behind my grandmother's house. So the house I'm living in now, we didn't see houses like that. And I just didn't think that I would ever be in a position to ever afford a house. Like success to me was like a nice 2-bedroom apartment or whatever. Mm-hmm. So that was a big deal. But the winter,
the nice house you got now. Because I'm trying to see how flexy this is going to be. Because I got my flex pen going right now.
Listen, it's not. Nobody knows. Nobody knows how my house looks.
Chateau de Buff.
For all they know, it's just a little 1-bedroom house. I mean, I'm just saying that I didn't think I could get it. But the winner is the birth of Jasmine, man, because of so many different emotions I had. Like, I was happy, I was scared, I was nervous, I didn't know what to expect. I was doubting myself, like, will I even be a good father at all? Mm-hmm. So just the birth of her, man, I just remember going to the hospital. It was on Halloween. I'm handing out candy to doctors and stuff. Like, we had nurses. We had the most doctors and nurses in our room because they heard that's what the candy was, yo. So it just was fun, man. And I've never loved somebody as much as I have in that little girl. So the birth of her, it's the winner because of just the mix of emotions and the unknown. Like, graduation, that was just happiness. Buying this house, happiness, you know what I'm saying? Maybe even some pride or whatever. But the birth of Jasmine is definitely, like, I would say, the greatest day for me.
I'm with it.
That did so well.
Love Jasmine. All righty. Well, that was fun, fellas and young lady. I'm so used to saying fellas. Another great episode. So we're about to wrap it up. Buff, Razi, tell us what y'all want to do, and we're going to let Bird finish it off before I close. So,
well, first off, obviously, thank you, Bird, for making time for us. We know you have a ton of things going on, and I don't say this lightly. We really are honored to have you on. Like, I was looking at your Instagram page the other day. I was like, holy she got how many followers? So, like, when I called you a celebrity earlier, I meant that. And you're so humble. And like, for those that don't know, she's drinking like wine out of styrofoam cup and eating a Krispy Kreme donut. You know what I'm saying? Like, so don't. Is that
the strawberry filled one?
So don't. It's not it's the glazed. I didn't want the filled one.
Right. So don't
Byron, tell her how you feel. Tell her how you feel about Krispy Kreme.
Krispy Kreme is trash. But listen, I get it. You know, everybody likes sugar. it's pretty much just bread and sugar. Like there are better donuts out there. That's all I'm saying. But if you look at
she's hitting him with the Soldier Boy. If everybody can't see, she literally hit him with the Soldier Boy. Trash.
Somebody screenshot this.
But unlike Melvin, I don't think Hearts is trash. See, Melvin thinks Krispy Kreme and Hearts is trash. So we got a friend by the name of Melvin Johnson.
My cousin, he real light skinned though. He real light.
Okay, that's all you had to say, P.
Wow,
that's all you had to say.
But no, I was just gonna say, if you look at Bird, you probably could think, oh man, she probably stuck up. But no, man, she's down to earth like a mug, man. So we appreciate having her on. Enjoyed the conversation, fellas. Go ahead, Rozzy and Ali.
What is Ali holding?
He has a geode, so he's trying to show y'all the inside of the rock to see the crystals inside the geode.
Oh, okay. Great TikTok video, Ali.
Yeah.
I want to see the TikTok videos.
No, again, I want to echo what Byron said. Definitely appreciate everything. Appreciate you coming on. Listeners, we appreciate everything that you guys have been doing. I have been promising a video, and before Ferg calls me out on it, I've been promising that video about COVID and these COVID checks, but life's just been getting in the way, man. This, like I said, the working from home, the homeschooling, and being a single dad now is, I may not get it to you guys, and if I do, it's going to be too little too late, but I'll try my best to get that out to you guys if I can. Other than that, man, just keep hitting us up, sharing the stuff on Facebook, sharing everything on Instagram. We enjoy it. We love it. We want to interact with you guys as much as possible. So we appreciate that. And just keep rocking with us.
All right. Appreciate it, Rozzy. So Bird, tell before you leave, tell the people where they can find you. Leave them with some inspiration. Leave them with what you want to tell the people.
Well, first thing first, I want to piggyback off what I said earlier. If you wanted to start that podcast or that business or that YouTube channel, whatever it is it may be, step one, just do it. Just start it already. And of course, you can find my my fashion influencer page, Young at Style. That's YOUNG at AT Style, STYLE, on Instagram and Facebook. And I am the co-owner of Shop Inside Out Clothing Boutique. That's Shop Inside Out. It's HOPP, 2 P's, EINCIDEOUT, shopinsideout.com. And tell them Bird sent you. Y'all, I had freaking fun. Y'all have to invite me like every 6 months or something.
We had a blast, man. We're trying to put our people on.
I had so much fun. The energy was high. I don't know if it's because I was drinking like wine or whatever, but I had fun. I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed seeing all of y'all. Raj, I don't know if Byron told you, but I really wanted to come to Birmingham to support you and your family. I still think about you all the time. I think about, your family, just all of your kids, all that. Just know you are still in my thoughts. You're still in my prayers. And I just, and when I say this, I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I love each of y'all. All the way back from the flow. I do. Like, I genuinely love y'all, and I love y'all's friendship and the vibe and the energy that you guys give off. And like the young folks say, I put y'all.
Yo, hilarious. Do you have sundresses on your site?
Yes, the boys we have.
Okay, I'm just making sure. I'm just saying.
I can't stand y'all right now.
Since Rozzy ain't putting that in the video, I might tell people to go buy some sundresses,
Well, y'all just make sure y'all go get some V-neck t-shirts, okay?
Oh, trust me, I got them.
Okay.
What Ferg has them.
Definitely a staple. Gotta have some.
Yes.
I keep those.
Good job, staple piece. Good job, Orazio. 8 points for you.
I keep it basic. But no, want to thank you for coming on. It is a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
No, it was fun, man. You're welcome anytime. I hope that you have continued success. We're gonna send people your way. Definitely gonna take a more look at your website. I don't know if you got men's stuff on there. Men's stuff on there.
No,
but we like fashion. we like fashion too. So we do.
I believe you.
We do. So I don't know. My dad's a tailor, so I grew up around fashion. So that's why my dad actually has a shop in Mobile, so off Old Shell Road. So I grew up wearing fitted clothes and making, personal outfits and stuff when I was a kid. So that's the reason I like to dress. So that's the reason I like to dress. So, but no, I want to thank our listeners as usual. Thank you for coming on. Do a follow-up. We actually, the wife and I did have our first counseling session last Saturday. Dude was pretty cool. I didn't cry, so I feel like that was a win. But it was very interesting. Very, very interesting. I recommend it for everybody. We have another session coming up this week, but definitely is helpful. And I think we're already breaking ground and starting to have conversations that we haven't had, that I didn't know we needed to have. So that's very interesting. As far as what else is going on in our world.
I just want to just throw that out there. That we can count that as a flex too. I told you so.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, I appreciate it, Razi. I've been listening to you for years, man. So definitely a good thing. So anybody out there looking for counseling and everything, I recommend everybody that listens to our show, go talk to your company and see if you have EAP. Most companies have 2 to 3 free counseling sessions. I think 2 to 3, even maybe per incident, So go look at your EAP, see if there's things you can take advantage of. I think it's a good start, and you'll be amazed. It's not as expensive as you think it is. So that's great. So I want to give a shout out to Razi for recommending it, Z for finding it, and most importantly, once again, listeners, you know where to find us: Facebook, Instagram. Keep following, keep listening to us. So 6 Rules of Podcast. Listen, like, share, subscribe, comment, and most importantly, listen again. We'll see you next week.